What's up, guys? Welcome to the Fantasy Addiction Network. In this video, we're going to be breaking down quarterback Jordan Love, a pre-draft profile, looking at where we could project him to go and what his potential fantasy outcome could be this year and going forward. But hey, before we get started, hit that like and subscribe button, and let's get going. Get started, check out the link in the description. We are offering a free till kickoff special for our fan companion tool. You get access all the way up into the kickoff of the NFL season for absolutely free, so make sure you check out that link. Okay, so today we're looking at quarterback Jordan Love, quarterback out of Utah State. So I'll just come straight out and say I don't understand the sudden draft love for Jordan Love. It's looking very likely at this point that we're probably going to see 5 quarterbacks go in the first round, with Jordan Love being number 5. Not necessarily in that order, but looks like obviously Burrow and Tua are going to go. Justin Herbert most likely going to go in the first round, and then Jordan Love and Jake Fromm could end up slipping in there as well. They could all be early first half of the first round picks, which to me is a little bit surprising, especially considering how deep the free agent class of quarterbacks was this year. A lot of teams were able to address the quarterback situation in free agency, which doesn't typically happen. So to see 5 quarterbacks still go in the first round would be a little bit of a surprise to me. I'll come out with the positives. I understand some of what people see in Jordan Love's game. He has the ability to make ridiculous splash plays deep down the field, akin to what you might see from Patrick Mahomes, 40, 50-yard bombs. That he was able to make a play in the pocket, extend the play, and hit his receiver open deep. You see that similar kind of gamership in Jordan Love, but there are some significant problems to his game in terms of throwing motion, in terms of trying to force a big play. He has a tendency to begin to melt down as the game gets close and the game goes on, throwing multiple interceptions and fumbling the ball near the end of the game when the game's on the line. Like, those are the kind of things that are going to get him in the doghouse with coaches really fast, and he's going to need to work on that mental aspect of the game. From a measurable standpoint, definitely fits the build of what you would expect to see from a quarterback. 6'3", 225 pounds, ridiculous hand sizes, 10.5 inch hands, 94th percentile. Decent 40 time, 4.7, 440, 77th percentile. So definitely is a threat on the ground, which is what we typically look for from a rookie quarterback. When we look at his college stats, his sophomore year is definitely his best year by far. 417 pass attempts, 3,500 yards, 64% completion percentage, and 32-6 touchdown interception ratio. Where we saw a lot of the flaws kind of surface was in his junior year. Actually kind of surprised he declared and didn't try to fix this a little bit, but going from his great sophomore year into his junior year, we saw his yards per attempt go down from 8.6 to 7.2. His completion percentage was pretty much the same, about 62%, but his touchdown interception ratio went from 32-6 to 20-17. Again, forcing the issue on a lot of plays. He had multiple times where he threw the exact same to the same receiver on the same route. Defender is like, okay, well, you didn't do anything to change my mind about stopping this play again. Undercut him and throws an interception. Just not the smartest decision making from Jordan Love in his junior year. Now, have to give him a little bit of a caveat. There were a lot of personnel changes in Utah State that led to the degrade in production. He wasn't playing with a strong supporting cast like we saw with a guy like Joe Burrow or Tua. So obviously there are ways away that you can explain the drop in statistical production from year 2 to year 3. But we can't ignore that a lot of this had to do with his own decision making and not just his personnel around him being less strong. Another thing that's interesting as well, even though he has the capability to run, is pretty fast, they didn't use him too much as a runner. Did have 7 touchdowns, short goal line touchdowns in his sophomore year, no touchdowns in his junior year. But I think that would change a little bit in the NFL. But at least he's not a guy that is reliant on the run to make his game go. So again, I understand from a prospect perspective why NFL teams are interested in what he can do. I just think that they're a little bit enamored by some of the splash plays he's made, and some of the errors in his game. Definitely needs some time working out. If he goes to a team that has a really good track record of grooming quarterbacks and he can sit on the bench for at least a year, I think he stands a much greater chance of being a productive quarterback. If he goes to a team that they're expecting him to perform right out of the gate, I think he's going to fall pretty heavily on his face, which I don't want that for anyone, and I really think that he would benefit. I mean, we saw like with Patrick Mahomes he had a lot of flaws to his game too coming out of college, and getting to spend an entire year behind Alex Smith being groomed under Andy Reid, I think did him wonders, and I would hope that we could see the same thing from Jordan Love, because a lot of the things that he did wrong in his junior year I think could be fixed, and definitely has the athletic profile that you would expect to see from a quarterback in the NFL. So if he can go to a team that can groom him, I think he could be a pretty valuable fantasy quarterback, but that's going to be a very small window of teams that I think that could actually groom him appropriately. So in terms of fantasy draft capital, right now I probably wouldn't even draft him. Maybe a 4th round pick in Superflex leagues, but based on where he goes, that will probably jump his draft capital up around to 3rd round in Superflex and 4th round for single quarterback leagues. We'll see how it goes. The NFL draft is going to be a heavy determinant for some of these quarterbacks, and I think Jordan Love is probably the main guy that will see his draft capital impacted based on where he goes at the end of this month. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I do truly appreciate it. Check out my website at fantasyaddictionnetwork.com to see how I have all of the rookies that are fantasy relevant ranked. And for more information, click that link in the description below. Anyway, we'll see you guys in the next video.